the mother, who permeates the entire universe, who is the source of all that is, Satchit Ananda. That divine mother begins to express within your own heart. Until the heart has become absolutely fulfilled, there is always movement of the soul toward that attainment. When the moment that stage is reached, you are not confined to normal consciousness that defines your personality. So that type of virtue that Saraswati is inspiring you to have, the virtue that dissolves your ego. Because every moment, if you have a total view of what is happening, the glory of the self shines forth. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah, I Saraswatyai Namah, Om Durgayai Namah, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah, Om Sarvamangala Mangalye, Shive Sarvartha Sadhike, Sharanye Trayambake Gauri, Narayani Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Saraswatyai Namah. Om Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Dhavala, Ya Shubhravastravrita, Ya Veena Varadanda Manditakara, Ya Shweta Padmasana, Ya Brahmachuta Shankara Prabhitibhi Devai Sada Pujita, Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nisheshajadyapaha. The famous stotra for invoking Goddess Saraswati. And we have invoked, and her presence is with us. May that Goddess, whose complexion is fair like the shining moon in scriptures play a profound part. It represents climax of bhavana, feeling. When the feeling begins to become purified, you are entering into Shukla Paksha, waxing moon. Remember in Uttarayana description of northern path, first stage is Vairagya, Agnir. Next stage, Jyoti, which means Viveka, you are developing discriminative knowledge. Third stage, Aha. Living your life not with ha ha, bringing yoga in daily life. Easily said, but that's the big challenge everyone has to handle. Then you are coming into next stage, bhavana level. Are you succeeding? The success is expressed through your feeling. Your feeling remains murky, then wait, watch. It's not real success yet. So, bhavana vikas. And when the Shukla Paksha means waxing moon, your bhavana, your feeling for yourself, for the world, and ultimately it reaches climax when you deep down understand that God, the Supreme Mother, is the source of all love. So if you are connected with that, now therefore, real rasa is entering into your heart, Saraswati. It inspires your entire being. And now it begins to wax. Shukla Paksha. Then Uttarayana. When the moment that stage is reached, you are not confined to normal consciousness that defines your personality. You discover expansion in consciousness. In yoga terminology, you begin to experience samadhi. And that goes on expanding. Just like northern course, the Uttarayana process of the sun. Daylight goes on increasing until you come to the longest day. That's just allegorical, which means expansion of consciousness reaches its ultimate goal. You attain pure consciousness, absolute. That's the whole thing is described in the Gita as Uttarayana Marg. In this Uttarayana, the first half is head related, speaking allegorically, intellect related. The second half is heart related. Your progress is not concluded in your intellect level. It comes to conclusion through your heart. And with your heart, you become absolutely settled in your spiritual goal. Until the heart has become absolutely fulfilled, there is always movement of the soul towards that attainment. So that moon that represents expansion and blossoming of your divine feeling, that's the complexion of the goddess. Who wears a garland of snow-white jasmine flower. Garland flower relates to garland of virtues. But virtues play different roles. If you are not highly advanced or do not have profound aspiration, your virtues secure good embodiments. Secure your next birth. If you are not poor, next birth you will be a king. You don't like to be a king, a president. A powerful personality, I'm joking. So that level is colorful garland with so many colorful flowers. Saraswati, pure jasmine flower, pure sattva. So that type of virtue that Saraswati is inspiring you to have, the virtue that dissolves your ego. Saraswati's role is to bring about the end of Śumbha and Niśumbha, who represent Ahaṁtā and Mamatā. And Ahaṁtā and Mamatā is the highest challenge on the steps of spiritual progress. The highest rung is to bring about the end of me and mine. And Hindu culture has very cleverly put it in everyday life. If you meet people, namaste, namaskar. Namah term is chopping down Ahaṁtā and Mamatā, Śumbha and Niśumbha. And you go on reminding yourself. Whose hands are decked by veena and varadanda. Here again, I'm giving you profounder meaning, you see, because I'm not conducting Navaratri Puja completely in accord with traditional way. It is supra-tradition. Why not understand the deeper meaning? So, Hands are decked by veena. Hands is a symbol of your conduct. How do you live your life? Veena is integral yoga. You have chords in your personality. Action, emotion, will and reason. And these chords in the hands of ego create very noisy sound. Sometimes action becomes too predominant without any feeling behind it. Sometimes the head goes swollen up like a big balloon and the feet shrink into little mushrooms. That is the predicament of life. These four chords, they don't have to be exactly the same, but they must come together as a music in a harmony. And that's what Saraswati is holding veena, giving you that type of. You must realize all the descriptions of gods and goddesses, they are giving you an ideal that must develop in your personality. And Varadanda, a staff of blessings, who is seated on a white lotus. Here again, the same point. Any other type of lotus is keeping your goal confined to the world of pravritti, the world of time and space. That means the lotus that you have in your view is colorful lotus. And different colors. There are 7 colors in the rainbow. But the source is one, transcends colors. But speaking allegorically, snowy white, sattva, pure sattva. So that's what she sits on, pure sattva. When your heart becomes free of impure vasanas, Śumbha vasana begins to operate through your heart. Your heart is described like a beautiful lotus. Every tender sentiment is a petal in that lotus. And what does that lotus bring to you? The awareness of the presence of the divine goddess, the mother, who permeates the entire universe, who is the source of all that is Satchit Ananda. That divine mother begins to express within your own heart. And that's represented by her being seated on a beautiful white lotus, who is ever adored by Brahma the creator, Vishnu the sustainer, Shiva the destroyer. God plays all these 3 roles through Maya. And all these roles are played for allowing the soul to attain liberation. The entire story of bondage and liberation is in the realm of Maya. Maya means it is not absolute reality. Just like entire experience that you get when you are sleeping in your dream, no matter what type of experience, the whole dream world and all your experience is Maya. And you have to wake up completely from it. Similarly, all your experiences in your waking state are dirgha sapana, same like the dream. Because you cannot end up having a nervous system. That's what human beings are. All their experiences are based on nervous system. The little skeleton, little nerve, they are playing big drama. Who destroys all forms of inertia and dullness. That's the main role of Saraswati, which means the more you overcome dullness, manda buddhi, and inertia, a mind that goes on postponing things that are enriching for you, a mind that is addicted to pramad. Pramad is different from pramod. Pramod is joyous. Pramad, something, oh, I will do it tomorrow. Even good things are being presented. Oh, it's so good. I want to enjoy it more. So keep it in the refrigerator. So everything is postponed. And that builds up in the mind, becomes kind of addiction, nature of the mind, not to handle things immediately. If that quality were to develop profoundly, you will end up with a tremendous wow. Because every moment, if you have a total view of what is happening, the glory of the self shines forth. Look at the world and all the illuminations. Behind them all, the sun is exploding in his glory. In other words, God is not somewhere to be realized. He is the reality behind all your thought waves. The screen is the reality while you are watching the show. In between the two frames, there is nothing but the screen. In between your two vrittis, thought waves, there is nothing but the divine self. So I will not lead you to that extension, but gradually that's what we are trying to promote through this story. May that Goddess Saraswati protect and sustain each one. Remember in storyline, when Śumbha and Niśumbha began to oppress the gods, all gods assembled together along with Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, and they offer adorations to the Devi in Himalayas. Parvati Devi was coming down. She's also known as Gauri. And out of her emerged Koshiki. So Parvati became two deities, Koshiki and Kali. Koshiki is Viveka Buddhi. Vivek Buddhi that shows that the reality in you is beyond all the five sheaths. Sheaths are koshas. And that intellect that reveals the subtlest source, subtlest reality hidden behind the koshas. Nothing is kosha until you attain the kosha, the self. All koshas are not self. And Kali represents that project of Viveka Buddhi is to put an end. Kali represents, speaking in the highly profound terms, pratyaya bhav. Pratyaya refers to as long as you are seeing projections, you are trapped by the thought waves of your mind. Comes a stage You are turning away completely from all thought waves. Speaking in ordinary language, you are come to a stage, you are not interested in this story. With projection or without projection, your attention is only on the screen. So that Devi who turns your attention from all projections, puts the Kala, time itself, away from your vision, cuts down time. That's Kalaratri. Now with this, let's see what story goes on. Chanda and Munda reported the presence of the Devi to their lord Śumbha and Niśumbha. So while it was happening, the messengers, attendants of Śumbha and Niśumbha, these attendants are known as Chanda and Munda. All these are allegorical. Chanda refers to giving attention only on your action and ignoring everything else. Karma is highlighted in your personality. That attitude that highlights karma is Chanda. Puts the cha into anda. Cha is your movement, gati. And now it becomes completely latent, drawn into latency. And Munda, that attitude that only uses head, only theory, no conduct, only. Many are interested to understand the spirituality, but only they are interested in understanding. Just tell me, what is Brahman? Where is he? 5,000 ago, something happened in divine plane. What are they doing now? I'm joking at the same time, that's the reality of it. And that type of Munda will not resolve any problem. So Chanda and Munda, and what will happen we'll soon see, but they are acting like spies, private agents of Śumbha and Niśumbha. In modern terms, they are WikiLeaks. So they bring the report to Śumbha and Niśumbha. O king, we have seen a Devi in the Himalayas. There is none equal to her in beauty. Please, do find out who that Devi is and bring her in your palace. You have attained all glorious things of this whole universe, and she surpasses everything you have. So why don't you bring her in? O great king, it is not just one king, O great kings, Chanda and Munda, they are twins. This Devi, her presence illumines the entire Himalayas. No one could have ever seen that type of glorious beauty of the Devi. Please find out who she is and catch her. She is a jewel among all women. Every part of her body is most beautiful. She is still there in the Himalayas. You can yourself come and see her. All the jewels, majestic elephants, horses, all the pearls you have in your possession, You have the Airavata elephant from the heavenly world. You have Parijata tree. You have heavenly horse. You have aerial cars driven by swans. You have snatched the great Mahapadma, great mystic lotus from Kubera's treasury. An ocean god has presented to you with a special mala. You have even controlled death, his powerful weapon by which he kills others. You have snatched that from him. So it's a big description, but all these are allegorical. All this describes what is possible in the realm of time, space, causation. The mind looks for all wealth, riches, glory, power. It's a treasure house of putreshana, vitteshana, location. Having lots of near and dear ones, sons, grandsons, and so forth. A cozy, large family spread all over the world. And immense money, vitteshana. And immense popularity. That's what mind looks for. And that's what they are saying. All that is there, who possesses it? Ahaṁtā and Mamatā. It is only for Ahaṁtā and Mamatā all this seems to be meaningful. Otherwise, all this is nothing, perishable. Even from very practical point of view. Even the Earth planet, how long is it going to stay on? With all the stories and history has gone on. And even while you are enjoying all the history going on, the Earth is not steady even for one moment. It's circling around the sun. And if that is not enough, nothing is steady, even in your own body. Your eyelids gone up and down, and so forth. This is a description of alpam. And that's what to human mind seems the greatest attainment. Alpam means it is illusory, it has no meaning, it is nothing, it is little. But that's what to Chanda and Munda has come to a stage, subtle stage of their termination. And that's implied that they are now inspiring Śumbha and Niśumbha to go after the Devi. Because they have come to realize all that he possesses compared to her is little. When that idea comes in your mind, now there's a big movement to start. Śumbha and Niśumbha were very, very pleased to hear this. The biggest news broke. They sent their very clever and wise messenger known as Sugriva. And they said, go to the Devi and do all that is possible to persuade her, convince her, tempt her to come to us, bring her. From a profounder point of view, Sugriva relates to Vishuddhi Chakra. The Kundalini is moving towards the Ajna. But in that process, Vishuddhi Chakra must open up. So as Vishuddhi chakra opens up, higher activities begin to take place between Śumbha, Niśumbha and Saraswati. The whole description is a tremendous transformation begins to occur in your understanding, in your Ajna chakra. Ajna chakra is the source of intuitive intellect. Accordingly, Sugriva went and approached the Devi. O Devi, for your information, Śumbha is the Lord of the three worlds. I am his messenger. He is the ruler over all gods. No one can disobey him. He has brought all gods under his control. And fortunately, he has brought a message for you. I'm adding the word fortunately. And this is his message. All the three worlds are under my control. Even gods obey my command. And all the people who perform yajnas, their spiritual merit of performing yajnas comes to me, not to gods. And he again elaborates all those things that Chanda and Munda had said before. Elaboration implies description of alpam, all that the world can give to you. You are the jewel, the best jewel among all women of the world. O beautiful one with chanchal kataksh. Eyes are so shining that you can't look at her face. Your eyes move back and forth. That's my interpretation for a profound poet. Describing that she has chanchal katak, but it's not she. You can't look at her. Your eyes dazzle when you look at her. Sun has chanchal katak. Look at it, your eyes will go back and forth. Come to us and choose any of us. Marry Śumbha or Niśumbha, and by doing so, you will be the greatest in the three worlds. Come, become my spouse. Rishi Ruvacha, Ityukta sa tada devi, gambhiranta smita jagvavu, Durga Bhagavati Bhadra, yayedam dharyate jagat. Devi, who sustains the entire universe, smiled and said, Devi said, O messenger, all that you have said is real. Nothing is false. Implying that's the reality of the world process. That's the reality of alpam. You have well described the alpam, well described the little world. Your literature is wonderful. I know Śumbha is the lord of the three worlds and Niśumbha is no lesser. But I have made a resolve and I must follow my resolve. I can't turn it into falsehood. Because of my alpa buddhi, because of the dull intellect. That's what the general reaction is to the divine movement. the general intellect. For masses, sharp intellect means hold all the prosperity of the alpam, the sharp intellect. Now that advanced level, it looks at the whole thing as little. From the lower standpoint, looking at it, that higher intellect is described as dull intellect. And Saraswati is using that pun, that I have that dull intellect. That's the way the world will view her. So what can I do? Being dull-witted, I made a resolve that whoever will come face to me and fight with me, prove his power. Simple point, whoever deserves will attain enlightenment. You have to have qualification. But I'm not going to that simplicity, I'm going to the story. So whoever would defeat me will marry me. That's my simple, dull-witted vow. And you are so powerful, so no problem. Do that. Show me your strength. Beat me up. Sugriva said, "Oh Devi, you are so beautiful, but you have such conceit." Is there anyone in the three worlds who can stand before Śumbha and Niśumbha? All gods can't face them. And you alone? This is ridiculous. So why don't you just become humble? Come with me. Protect what may happen to you. What will happen if you don't go? They will drag you by your hair, and all your honor and glory will be smashed. How shameful. Devi said, "Oh, what you say is so good. I understand. What can I say? I made that vow. I didn't know about all that." I made that vow without thinking. That's the subtle point. When you make a vratha, may I attain enlightenment, that's not a product of ordinary thinking. It's an intuitive urge flashing out. When you think, you are always thinking of things of the world. Things can be manipulated by your ego. But here is a thoughtless movement. When all thoughts subside, the urge to attain enlightenment manifests. So therefore it is a without thinking process. Next section, Shashtodhyaya, Dhumralochana Bad. Hearing these words of the Devi, Sugriva was very agitated. And he came to Śumbha and Niśumbha and relayed all he had heard from the Devi. Śumbha became exceedingly angry, and he immediately commanded the great general of the demoniac army, known as Dhumralochana, smoky eyes. Dhumralochana. Take your vast army, O Dhumralochan, go after that dushta, that wicked one. Bring her to me, dragging her by her hair. Behind all that, every word has a meaning. Here relate to vasanas, subtle desires. And if your viveka buddhi is not mature, the negative in you drags your viveka buddhi by the hair. But viveka buddhi, mature, perfect, that one can't be dragged by the lower self. This is demonstrated also in the Mahabharata. Draupadi's hair was dragged. She represented the same Vivek Buddhi. And Krishna went after protecting. The entire Mahabharata was because of Draupadi's hair. People can't understand why Hindus are so proud of their gods. They didn't know even simple things of politics. I'm joking. Now, Dhumralochan represents Viparita Buddhi for developing that profound bhavana, pure feeling for attaining enlightenment. There are three bhavanas that come as obstacles. Sanshaya bhavana, doubting mind. Asambhavana, complete despair, I can't do it. And viparita bhavana, perverted vision. And that, for students of Vedanta, you need to go into deep study of what makes doubting mind, malas, gross impurities. They do not allow you to have the perfect clarity of your confidence and clarity of the choice. You are always doubting your own choice. You are by the, I'm giving you old style parable. You are at the bank of the river, and there are two boats, one boat here, one boat there. And now you have a big problem. You see so many good points of that boat, plus some negative points. You see so many good points of that one, plus some little negative. Which one should you choose? 2 steps you go that way, come back, no. That one, doubt, go nowhere. Then asambhavana. You hear about all these stories, how the soul has gone through many lives, etc. And now you start writing in your diary, how much karmas I must have created. You want to see such immense amount of karmas. Yes, goal is liberation. But to have so much karmas, it's impossible in this life. So you end up with being very clever about your mathematics. You find no way can you attain enlightenment with all the data before you. And you are a high advanced student of mathematics. And viparita bhavana, mind eludes the grasp, eludes the vision of the truth. Very simple illustration I give is, When you are seeing your face in a mirror, and a friend of yours asks, "What are you doing?" You say, I'm seeing my face. Everybody says, what else could he have said? He said the right thing. No, he's seeing the mirror. First you see the mirror, then you see the face within the mirror. But this subtlety escapes your vision. First you are aware. Then within your awareness, you experience pleasure, pain, time, space, and all that. But that escapes your grasp. That pure awareness is absolute. When we look at so many illuminations of the sun, first reality is the sun. Anything else is viparit, not exactly the sun. Pure consciousness is the reality. All that is projected by the mind is not the reality. But viparit buddhi goes after all that is projected, not the screen. And the screen remains constantly there. You say, all right, God was there, he might have created it, but he has a heart attack when he saw his creation. God, array. I'm joking, but that's the way many people do, have their logic. So that's what Dhumralochana represents. So Dhumralochana, with an army of 60,000 demons, went to the Himalayas and challenged the Devi. "O crooked one, come to Śumbha and Niśumbha. I have come to take you. If you don't come agreeably, then we are ready to take you by your hair. I will drag you all through." Devi said, "The king of demons, the Śumbha, great one, has sent you. And you yourself are no lesser than that great one. And you have such a vast army. And you are going to take me by force. What can I do? Abala Nari." A helpless woman. She doesn't say that. Now Dhumralochana is all his power, summoning up all his muscles, jumped towards the Devi to catch her by her hair. And the Devi simply said, "Huh." And a big blaze of fire emerged, and this giant Dhumralochana was burned to ashes. That's how viparit buddhi is corrected. Just by a word. Many implications are there. If you adopt mantra like Om, just Om, and lead the mantra to advanced state, mantra chaitanya awakens. Then all that you have to turn your mind Om and understand what Om means. And once you have united with Om, viparit buddhi moves away. Once you direct your flashlight, darkness moves away. Flashlight doesn't even have to say whom. And that the army, vast army, exercised their power, and then Devi and her lion did lots of work by his claws, by his jaw, nails, and Devi's countless arms operated, chopping the heads off. And that was Sanghar Mahotsava. For Devi it was a kind of rejoicing. Now when this news reached Śumbha, the Dhumralochana has been killed by the Devi, and Devi's lion. He became exceedingly angry. His lips began to vibrate, and he commanded Chanda and Munda, go to that Devi with a vast army, put her in fetters, bind her, and bring her to me. And also, if occasion demands, destroy her. That command, Chanda and Munda went and approached Devi. So we keep you in suspense for tomorrow. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah, Ahaṁ Saraswatyai Namah, Om Shri Guruve Namah, Om Ahaṁ Saraswatyai Namah, Om Dum Durgayai Namah, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah, Om Shanti. Om Saraswatyai Namah, Mahabhadrayai Namah, Mahamayayai Namah, Varapradayai Namah, Shri Pradayai Namah, Padmanilayayai Namah, Padmakshayai Namah, Padmavaktrakayai Namah, Shivanujayai Namah, Pustakbrite Namah, Jnanamudrayai Namah, Ramayai Namah, Parayai Namah, Kamarupayai Namah, Mahavidyayai Namah, Mahapataknashinyai Namah, Mahashrayayai Namah, Malinyai Namah, Mahabhogayai Namah, Mahotsahayai Namah, Divyangaye Namah, Suravanditaye Namah, Mahakalyai Namah, Mahapashaye Namah, Mahakaraye Namah, Mahankushaye Namah, Bhitaye Namah, Vimalaye Namah, Vishwaye Namah, Om Saraswatyai Namah. Om Jai Jai Arati Vigna Vinayak, Vigna Vinayak Shri Ganesha, Jai Jai Arati Subramanya, Subramanya Kartikeya, Jai Jai Arati Venugopala, Venugopala, Venulola, Papa Vidura, Navanita Chora, Jai Jai Arati Venkataramana, Venkataramana, Sankataharana, Sitarama, Radheshama, Jai Jai Arati Gauri Manohar, Gauri Manohar, Bhavani Shankara, Samba Sadashiva, Uma Maheshwara, Jai Jai Arati Raja Rajeshwari, Raja Rajeshwari, Tripur Sundari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Mahashakti, Jai Jai Arati Anjaneya, Anjaneya, Hanumanta, Jai Jai Arati Dattatreya, Dattatreya, Trimurti Avatara, Jai Jai Arati Shanaishwaraya, Shanaishwaraya, Bhaskaraya, Jai Jai Arati Sadgurunatha, Sadgurunatha, Sivananda, Jai Jai Arati Venugopala. Om na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidito bhanti kuto yamagni, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Om Ahaṁ Saraswatyai Namah.